Okay, so this is working? Yep, okay. So what's up? I see I gotta look at this little dot. That's the thing. Yeah, if I cover that up then. Alright, people. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent in my follow-ups with these little talks to start getting myself back on YouTube. I gotta get my podcast up as well. So I'm just going to be vibing a little bit. So today's topic, today is, don't want to say a whole lot but I'm going to be trying to make sure that I put them up on time. So this one, it's voting day, November, whatever this is, Tuesday, voting Tuesday. And Democrats was winning. In a lot of these places, it's obviously been really chaotic. That's nothing new. If you all don't know, that whoever kind of goes into office, usually that other side wins in the midterm elections. So it means nothing technically, even though everybody's like, oh yeah, this means something in terms of, or it's some sort of commentary on Donald Trump. It really isn't. I'm not telling black people, and that's who I'm talking to, I'm not telling y'all not to vote, but you have 100 years of evidence that says that we keep playing by their playbook. We keep settling for the crumbs. We keep settling for the lowest rung on the ladder, and it has not worked in our favor historically for centuries with an S on the end. So, do you all, in terms of voting, have I voted? Absolutely, I have voted. I am extremely aware that, and a lot of us have been made aware, obviously, that a lot of people died for your right to vote. And if you don't think that the vote matters, if they're trying so hard to keep you from voting, that should show you that it matters. And I'm a little bit on the fence about that, but I get that people need to do what they need to do. I think that this last 8 years and this last year, this fool that's in the White House, and I think that it's for me in my lifetime, as if I haven't seen of the other politicians even before this, Democrats and Republicans, right wing, left wing, right wing, same bird, and that this is politics, and just I don't agree with it anymore. And the longer I live, they always used to say when you were younger, keep on living, the older people saying keep on living, and I'm at that point where I understand it more now, and you will. And I just realized that everybody has a role to play. Everybody's going to do what they need to do. People are still, black people in particular, we keep still believing in all of these systems that are not for us, because what else can we do? We have to live here unless we're going to flee to some other country, and then there's global anti-blackness that we have to deal with. So I understand, I get it. I'm just saying, I just am through, and and I'm somebody, obviously, as you can hear from here, I'm somebody here who wants to do my part. What is my part? What does that mean? What is my part? What is my role in terms of community service and being of service and all those things? So I'm trying to find something to say about it, but what can I say? So I'll just leave it at that, and saying if you did your voting thing, it looks like the Democrats did their thing. If that's what interests you, then I guess it's a good day, or if it feels like something good for you. I'm kind of like been there, done that. We've all kind of been there, done that. So moving on, what else is going on? Meek Mills got 2 to 4 years for breaking his probation, and I think it's some bull. I'm not a Meek Mills fan, don't know much about his music at all, couldn't tell you a song. I only know he's a rapper, and that he was dating Nicki Minaj and they broke up. That is my degree of a lot of rap history these days, is I'm just not into it. But that's crazy. we are seeing left and right people going to jail. We see cops getting acquitted for murdering black people, just the most heinous atrocities. And like I said, again, with the voting thing, going back to that, but there's just the unfairness, and we are just under their rule, under their reign. These laws that historically, and all of the evidence shows that all of these laws with regard to punishment are racist, and they were put in place by racists. And the intention was to continue to keep black people under control because of the stereotype that they perpetuated about black people being violent and dangerous and all those things, when they outpace all of us with regards to crimes of all kinds. But we don't believe that even in ourselves. And and then they go to this popular, the 13, or there's more of them, and 13% of the population, and we're committing all these crimes, all the stuff that we continue to repeat, that they tell us to repeat, and everything like that. And I only really care about one statistics with regard to crime with white people, committing more crimes, and they're saying that's because it's more of them, and but in proportion we do, and all that nonsense, is that even if they do commit more crimes, why aren't more of them in jail? Because they're not. They are not more of them in jail. They are not represented in the across the board way of somebody who commits murders and assaults and robberies and rapes. They are not represented as as being the most people in jail, and it's not because they are not the most violent, because they are. So that's kind of something to think about. But going back, I'm saying I'm going on my tangents as usual, but yeah, this Meek Mills things is just some more injustice, and again, just part of the whole disillusionment. And I'm not going to be all down about every single thing I talk about. There's some interesting things out there to start talking about. I said, talking about my sociology, my psychology, and all those other things, but just in general about life and 101. I'm here starting over, as I talked about, and thankfully when I looked at this, it came out a little brighter. But I was like, oh, okay, am I getting dark up here in terms of nothing wrong? I don't have any problem with dark skin. I obviously love all my black people and all our shades and everything like that, but for me it would be a sign of stress. So it was just one of those things in terms of just wanting to talk about a lot of things, but just seeing, also let's make sure that we point out the injustice. We do have to keep on living no matter what happens. We've seen all of the constant injustices, and we can't let it stop us. We do have to get up in the morning and keep on living. But it is just, something to think about, some things to think about. I am moved into my new place, and it is pretty empty. I don't usually show my place, but I think I'm going to pan around right quick and show y'all. I'm going to have to turn the camera around since I'm on the face cam, but this is my place, empty and clean. But yeah, so that is kind of where I'm at in terms of me just moving to a new place. But I actually like it, as I just showed my kind of empty place, because it gives me a little bit of a time to think of ideas. I have a bunch of stuff in storage in another state. It's just figuring out how to kind of make time to go there and get it, and the expense of all of that kind of thing. So this is all a new adventure for me. When I was speaking on here a little bit more frequently, I was talking about issues that concern me, and I'm going to continue to be doing that and giving my perspective on things. Maybe switching it up, maybe adding some things as as I progress. And the interesting thing, I don't watch TV so much, and then these current events, a lot of things I just kind of make sure I get some of the current events, is make sure that the fool that's in the White House doesn't blow us to smithereens. But just trying to give my take on a little bit of everything and some life 101 as I continue to progress on this, and also how I'm doing and how things are changing for me as I start to see how this goes, living in another state briefly. I kind of want to go back to the state that I was living in before I started all these travels, 4 months ago. And that's, ultimately my plan. And then I want to do some traveling. So a lot hopefully will transpire, and maybe I'll be sharing it on here because that's what we do now, right? We share our life and all our business. But until next time, I just appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.